Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppage. Today checking out a style I haven't reviewed too much on the channel, but I've really enjoyed lately. We're checking out some Kölsch. I don't know how authentic this is because it's got the saying lager beer on there, so I don't know what they mean by that. But this is from Tavour. I got this on Tavour, and this is a collab, and this has been in Europe. I think Michelob Webshop had it at one point, but it's a collab between Fonta Flora and Arizona Wilderness, and this is Doomtree. What a pretty label. So yeah, as I said, it's been in Europe. This is a reboot version. It's 5.4% alcohol, 5.2% alcohol even, and it's a Kölsch style lager beer, they call it. Oh man, I got a shock there. Ghosts. But it's a Kölsch style lager beer. And what's interesting when they say Kölsch style, I guess that's because in Cologne, it's like to be able to call it Kölsch like authentically, it has to come from Cologne. It's something like that. It's a protected kind of name for beer. So I guess they call it a Kölsch style lager beer. I just wonder if they use Kölsch yeast or if they use lager yeast. So Kölsch is done similarly to a lager. It's just tub fermented with an ale yeast, warm, but it's also lagered afterwards, like you do with lagers. And at work, my new work, Bad Seed Brewing, my new job, my new position as a brewer there, before I started, like my boss did a Kölsch, which is really good, like very well hopped, but more fruity and a little bit more full bodied than a Pilsner. So I guess this is, again, it's probably a similar interpretation. Now this is then made with local elderflower and fresh lemon zest, and that sounds like a really dope addition, to be honest. It's not Einheitsgebot, but it sounds really good. And Fonta Flora makes some really good, more funky beers, and Arizona Wilderness makes a lot of different stuff, but they also make some very nice stuff. They've been to MBCC quite a couple of times. But let's check this one out. I'm really stoked on it. So I'm using what's closest, I guess, to the shape of a Kölsch glass. It's my Gamma Brewing glass. It's like very straight and long. Like the Kölsch glasses are kind of like this. But this is beautiful in the glass. It's just got streaming lines of carbonation in the glass, and it's just like really pale yellow. It's got a hint of haze, and I think it is because it's lightly hazy and not just chill haze. Some of it is chill haze, but when I poured the last bits of liquid from the can, there was a bit of haze that developed in the glass. And a white head. Not a big, frothy, fluffy one, but a nice white head, especially when I was pouring it. Let's feel the aroma. Yeah, maybe I should have not filled up that much in the glass, but it smells nice. It's really elderflower like. It's funny, we have a beer in Denmark that's really popular called Fynsk Forår, which is like a wheat ale, American wheat ale, I guess almost you'd call it. But it's or is it a Vit that's the base? It's something like that. It's a wheat ale with elderflower, and it's such a boring beer. This just smells so much better. It's got like very bright, uplifting elderflower aromas. But one thing, and I've gotten that once before in an elderflower beer, actually down in Germany, and it's an interesting vegetal note. And it's almost, if you've ever cooked with elderflower or you made elderflower saft, as it's called in Danish, which is very popular here, elderflower coriol, the stems has like an almost vegetally type note. And I'm getting just the slightest touch. It could also be just yeah, I think there's a little bit. Also like lemon pledge, like almost like lemon cleaning product because it's really pithy. And yeah, there's some crackery, bready malt. It's super bright. It smells like it's going to be really dry. It smells like it's going to be a really thirst-quenching beer. So let's check it out. Cheers. Wow. Chugger. I just want to smash this beer right away. That like slightly vegetal thing is non-existing on the aroma. It's like, man, this is just I think Kölsch, at least with lager drinkers, is something that could have and maybe just brewers. It seems like a lot of the times with the whole Pilsner revolution is just brewers. But this could have a renaissance. This is awesome. It's super light and crisp and dry, but super effervescent too. And then it has like these bright, singy flavors. It's so good. It's a style I never really explored, and I think in the past it might have been too boring for me. You know, this whole idea that a beer, in order to be good, it just has to be really expressive and more is more is more. You know, I love those kind of approaches too, but this is so much different than that. I will so, and that's not to toot my own horn, but I think the Kölsch actually that Flag has done is better. I'm not going to review it just because I work at the brewery now. So I feel like it's weird to start reviewing beers when I'm actually affiliated with a brewery, even though it's recipes I haven't made. It was the same thing for my previous workplace. But yeah, I think that's a little bit better, but it's still really good. It's like really citric and lemony, pithy lemon. It's really nice, and the elderflower really shines on the flavor more so on the aroma. It's just like this really nice fruity elderflower taste, and it's so refreshing. It's not super dry and bitter. I could have used maybe a little bit more bitterness, but it's definitely more fruity than a Pils. I know there's also technically fruit and the flower in there that makes it more pronounced fruitiness, but it's it's just got more of like almost like a really light fruit ester, something like that. But I'm not sure if that's coming from either the addition of elderflower and lemon, or they actually used Kölsch yeast and it's coming from that, because it could be the other way around. But it's super crisp and refreshing, bright and uplifting. Yeah, it has a nice snap too. I would have liked just a little bit of bitterness, but it's very true to what I've had in terms of Kölsch, the minimal amount I've had. I've reviewed a couple of the more commercial examples from Cologne on the channel years ago. But yeah, this is a really good collab. If you love sessionable beers and sluggable beers, which I'm just getting so into when they're this well made, this is just something for you. And I think, I'm not sure if Mikkeller still has it, but Mikkeller's web shop actually had a lot of these Fonta Flora beers for a long time, the lagers especially, on the web shop, because people don't want to, I guess, pay the price for lagers, which is a bit silly because they take a long time to make as well, like usually at least a month. Well, again, this is an in-between, but it's still lagered. I think it's really good. I'm not as blown away as I would have been maybe if it was a bit more snappy bitter, even though it seems like very authentic for the style, but I still think this is definitely like a 90. This is a really, really, really good Kölsch. Kölsch inspired ale. I love that profile of elderflower and lemon zest in there. It just gives a nice brightness. So very, very good. If you guys had a chance to try Doomtree from Fonta Flora in Arizona Wilderness, let me know what you thought of it. Again, Mikkeller webshop is the best bet, I think, in Europe. But otherwise, check out some Kölsch. It's one of those almost forgotten beer styles. I need to make it to Cologne at some point and drink some Kölsch there. I also need to make it to Düsseldorf and drink some Altbier. Something that'd be so fun to revisit is Jurige, Doppelstike, and all these very crazy Altbiers. Maybe that's something for Throwback Thursday. But yeah, this is really good. Very nice. If you guys had a chance to try Doomtree, let me know what you thought of it. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I want to say cheers and some delicious beers, and see you guys in the beer review.